What's good, everybody? King Jew back at y'all again. Today we are, what day is it? It is October 22nd. And today I think I wanted to go back and revert back to my hot take series. I haven't done gaming hot takes in a hot minute, so this will be considered gaming hot takes part two as a continuation of my part one, obviously. I got a good bit today. Most of them are based on just consoles in general, not really too many game specific ones. So let's get into it. Sit back, grab a snack, and let's talk about where our gaming systems lack. Now, for my first hot take, I'm going to say that Game Pass, in my opinion, I think it's a little bit better than PlayStation Plus. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, me personally, I've always been a PlayStation gamer. I mean, I've pretty much dabbled in every what do you call it, system per se. I've been on Xbox, I've been on PlayStation, and hell, I'm on Nintendo right now. So I feel as though the reason why I think Game Pass is kind of a little bit better than PlayStation Plus is because, for one, you have the day one releases. I mean, Black Ops 6 was available day one to play. Uh, the Dark Ages was available day one to play. I thought Battlefield 6 would have been available too, but I guess not. But in any case, yeah, you have your day one releases. They have honestly more. I mean, can is it safe to say they have better backwards compatible games? I mean, I don't know. They have it available to buy, whereas some of PlayStation's games are just for stream, especially the PlayStation 3 games. They have no option to buy PlayStation 3 games on your PS5. You have to stream them. Now, I will give PlayStation this though. They have been re-releasing these games as remasters or just with fresh coats of paint and, selling them as PlayStation 5 games. Or, I mean, I guess some of them have been sold as PlayStation 4 games. But in any case, I think the PlayStation Plus with Sony, I don't really feel like it caters to retro gamers like that. I mean, we can agree to disagree on that. Some people may say they do, which, I mean, I'm not gonna hate on your opinion for that. I just personally feel like they can do a much better job at that. Considering when you compare this to Xbox, hell, on Xbox you can play, well, on Series X, the disc version, you can play Xbox One games, you can play Series games, you can play 360 games, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you could play some OG Xbox games too. And I've also seen someone say that you can play PlayStation One games on it. So that's no, Sony gotta get it together, dog. They just do. Uh, Not to knock Sony, of course. I mean, they do have their fair share of backwards compatible games, but as I mentioned before, any PlayStation 3 games, you can't buy them. You just have to stream them. So you have to have a reliable source of internet and constant internet. You can't, I wouldn't even recommend going wireless for that because I've tried it before and it's a fucking nightmare. Like, you have to go Ethernet to stream these games. I don't care for that. I think it's greedy, in my opinion, but Sony gonna do what they do. Moving on to the next hot take, I think that PlayStation trophies need a rework, and I'm explaining this as well. Let me make this a little bit bigger for y'all to see it. So I think that PlayStation trophies need a rework. I feel like a lot of trophies are they're not. I don't get the same OG feeling that I did when I clear a trophy with Xbox or when I gain an achievement through my 360 compared to when I clear a trophy with PlayStation. I mean, I just get it. It is what it is. I mean, I really feel like if they do a rework, they can partner with PlayStation Stars. I don't know if y'all remember, but PlayStation Stars was that reward based thing where you can like, as you buy games or as you spend money on the PlayStation Store, you get basically reward points that you can use to redeem to get additional wallet credits, or sometimes I think they have physical merchandise and digital add-ons. I think that they can rework that way, especially mostly platinum trophies. Now, regular PlayStation trophies, of course, I mean, that's gonna be what it is. But platinum trophies, and specifically, I really feel like if you clear a platinum trophy on a game, then you should be able to get some sort of credit, maybe for PlayStation stars. You know what I'm saying? And I think that just clearing a platinum trophy and have nothing to show for it. I mean, obviously you have the achievement, but hell, some of us don't care about showing for it. I mean, we would like to be rewarded for nonstop grinding and putting in hours upon hours on a game that we already fucking finished. So I think that, like I said, mainly for platinum trophies, I think that Sony should implement some sort of reward system or partner with PlayStation Stars since they're no longer around. And every platinum trophy you clear, you get some sort of reward. You get to choose something. If you do, they could do it based on the difficulty of that platinum trophy. Maybe some may net $5 wallet credit, while some may net maybe just a simple add-on to a game, or maybe avatar skins, I guess you can say. Something like that. But in any case, let's move on to the next one. I think that digital stores need better pricing. There should be no reason why, and this is a quick story for y'all. I recently bought, well, not recently, but a while back, I bought Call of Duty 2. Do you know the Xbox 360 version of Call of Duty 2? I bought that from my Xbox, you know, digital store. Why was that game still $19.99? When you can go in any store, you can order the fucking game off of eBay for damn near $5. You can find the game very cheap for $10 max for a physical copy. Now, granted, I mean, hell, you do have to deal with maybe the physical copy might not work, or maybe it's scratched up, whatever. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, the digital stores that have these games still listed at full price, which I know $20 ain't full price, but for a fucking game that came out 20 years ago, there should be no reason why it's still full price or why it's still $20. Now, right now, if you look on Xbox Store right now, it's on sale for $10. But even that's kind of high, if we being honest. I mean, $10 is my max for a game that old. Now, it was a great game, don't get me wrong. But for a game that old to be $20, like, come on now. And not only that, Call of Duty has this really bad. Now, I bought Black Ops 2. I think I bought that before I bought Call of Duty 2. That game was still, what was that game? I believe it was still $50, I want to say. I really think that game was still $50. And that's fucking insane for a game that came out in 2012, I think that game came out in. Regardless, the game is at least 10 years old. So there should be no fucking way that game was still that expensive. And matter of fact, I'm about to look it up. Because ain't no way. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I'm about to show y'all right now. I know they still got it. Ain't no way they don't get it. But okay, well, if I find it, I'll link it. But if not, in any case, my point still remains. Digital stores, y'all need to drop the prices of y'all games, especially the backwards compatible games. I understand it's a guaranteed game. This game is guaranteed to work, but still though, that's no, we're not doing that. Moving on to my next one. This one is, we're gonna switch over to Nintendo for a minute. I feel like Joy-Con's concept was much better than its execution. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I feel that way. Because it's no secret that they tried to somewhat replicate the motion controls from the Nintendo Wii because it was such a big success. In theory, yeah, I understand that. But the way they went about it, the execution, it just didn't work for me. I mean, the Joy-Cons, they barely fit in your hand. They're small as hell. The fucking stick drift, the goddamn sloppy respondents. I mean, even like the last time I've used Joy-Cons was Pokemon Let's Go, and I can't even use it because it doesn't respond very good. Now, I don't know the Switch 2, maybe that's improved on it. I don't have the Switch 2 yet, so if you have it, let me know. But I know when I use it for the OG Switch, when I played Let's Go, it was the worst shit ever. I can't even play the damn game, unless I'm playing handheld mode, because y'all know Let's Go only got the options to play handheld with the Joy-Con or with that stupid Pokeball Plus shit. So I gotta play the game handheld. I can't play it on my TV. I can't play it on my monitor or nothing unless I want to deal with horrible goddamn Joy-Con, which I don't want to do. So this video is not sponsored by Crown Apple. I just love the drink. Moving on. This might get a little, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe so, maybe not. Let's see what we talking about. Yeah, it is crazy. This next one, do not come for me with pitchforks because I also do this too. But I do feel like PCs are workbenches with the addition of mods. PCs, when you think about it, it's the same schematics as PlayStation, or they take PlayStation schematics, they take Xbox schematics, and they just improve on it. Now, while I will say that PC is probably the best way of gaming now, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I feel like they're not workbenches. Y'all can agree, y'all can disagree, whatever. I mean, that's just how I feel about that. Now, again, not knocking PC, and definitely they're not knocking consoles, because I'm a PC gamer. I'm a console gamer. I don't fucking discriminate. I will game on my goddamn phone if I have to. I don't discriminate. But I also feel like PCs, like, in a way, they are workbenches, but if done correctly, they can outlast 10 toes down any console that comes out. But we're gonna move on from that one. That's pretty much my thoughts on that. All right, next one is, this one's gonna be somewhat specific to sports genres, and my opinion on sports games does not change from the last time I talked about it, when I said that the shit sucks and I feel like devs need more time to make better games, which clearly that's not gonna happen. Sports games still suck to me. They are ass, they are cheeks. I've tried it. I've played Madden 26. I don't like the game. I played College Football 26. It's better than, no, I wouldn't even say it's better than 25. The game sucks. I've played 2K26. While I will say that it's better than 2K25, I still think the game is ass. I still think that it is rinse and repeat from the previous years. Like, what the fuck? What really changes in these games? And motherfuckers like me, clearly, keep falling victim to the same shit. And I feel like these fucking gaming companies, like, they need competition. EA needs to bring back NBA Live. 2K needs to go ahead and bring some football game back. Because this shit right here, us being tied to literally one fucking game per year with only one company per year, like, that's ass. That is fucking ass. It really is. We got EA for strictly football games. We got 2K for strictly basketball. Well, basketball, hockey, and EA got MLB. But when I say that, I'm specifically leaning more towards Madden and 2K. The juggernauts are supposed to be juggernauts of sports games, but yet they still releasing the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. 2K26 feels the exact fucking same it did when 2K first made the jump to PlayStation. You can disagree with me all you want. The fucking gameplay does not change from these damn years. Only thing it is minor tweaks. It's like fucking Apple releasing iPhones every year. What the fuck is really different from the last year's iPhone, except for one, maybe two major updates? It's still the same fucking shit. You can sprinkle glitter on a piece of shit. It's still gonna be shit. That's what it is. Madden and 2K, logs of shit with glitter sprinkled on them. And every year they sprinkle just a little more on top just to make it seem like they're doing something. But the motherfuckers are not doing anything. But moving on before I get pissed off. This one is specific to one of my favorite games, one of the games that I play right now. Ranked Tekken 8 is a fucking nightmare. It is a nightmare. I am an avid Tekken gamer. I like to think that I'm an avid Tekken gamer. But hold on, what the hell? This shit. Okay, there it is. I've reached the Kenshin rank, which is the second to last in the blue tier. It took me a minute. Honestly, going through the blue ranks is actually a lot faster than any other ranks that I've gone through. I mean, hell, I'm on an 11 game win streak right now. Within those 11 games, I've ranked up 3 times, I think. Because I did, because I started at, I think, whatever the last rank in the purple tier is. I started there, and I'm on the second to last tier in the blue. So I went up to first blue, second blue, third blue. Yeah, so I've ranked up 3 times in those 11 games that I've won in a row. I would be remiss, and I would be lying if I said that shit wasn't a fucking nightmare though. Cause dog, every time, like, The lower ranks, okay, you can be more casual with that because that's just, people just learning how to play, just want to chill, whatever. Even quick match, people, I don't see quick match being as much of a nightmare as ranked, but the higher you rank up, the more technical it gets and the less casual it gets, in my opinion. Because in my days of playing, even purple ranks, to be honest with you, I've noticed a lot of players that I go up against, they do this string of combos. They find like this one or two set string of combos, and they just mash that, and that's all they do. And it becomes less about just having a good fight and less about combos, honestly, and more about punishing, frame data, and really timing. If we're being honest, I mean, timing kind of goes hand in hand into punishing and frame data. So, I mean, really, it's just guard, guard, guard. Oh, he hits me, punish. Oh, guard again. Oh, I got hit again, punish. And it just becomes very repetitive. Like, don't get me wrong, I still have my fun with it, but I've smashed the controller in the past because of Tekken. It is a nightmare. It is absolutely a nightmare. And to this specific person, I ain't forgot about you. Your ass whooping is coming. If you know, you know. Moving on. Back to, what do we call that? More console specific and not as game specific as the other two. This one, I think Quick Resume was a great addition to the Xbox consoles. I really feel like to be able to switch between games and not have to load up and go through the whole initial introductions and loading screens and things of that nature, that was a great addition that Xbox added to their consoles. Now, I don't think it works for like series games. If I'm not mistaken, I have to check it again, but I know it works for Xbox One and 360 and OG Xbox games. And I've used that shit amicably. Like I've switched between Max Payne, Sonic Adventure 2. I've played Dead to Rights, the OG Xbox game, which for some reason is harder on the Xbox than it was on the PlayStation. Hell, I've done Portal. I still play Portal. Borderlands, I've been having that as well. Just a plethora of games that I'm able to just go back and just quick resume. Now, I think there's a limit to how many you can have as readily available for quick resume, but I know that PlayStation does not have this feature. I know that for a fact. Get it together, Sony. Y'all are fucking up. Moving on to the next one. I think that we need more Telltale games in our gaming repertoire. I think that The Walking Dead was a great platform to build off of. I think, let me see. We got not Telltale. We have The Walking Dead. There's another one too. I forgot what it's called, but it's on Xbox. But I think that if we implement Telltale, like Telltale whatever, into certain AAA games, like imagine this would be something to make them shitty ass sports games better. Imagine having Telltale in those games instead of you walking into an interview with a coach and you get a choice of a couple of reactions and you might get a different answer based on what you pick, but generally speaking, nothing changes. It's still, you move on to the next game. That's it. Same with 2K. Imagine if we had a Telltale game or a Telltale type of thing in these sports games. So, for example, you play Madden, you get this interview or whatever. Or let's say, hell, let's even say this, you get into it with a teammate. You got two options. Either you can work it out with the teammate or you just say fuck them or, hold that grudge. You work it out with your teammate, you might start next week. You don't work it out with your teammate, you might get traded to another team. You never know. Or that teammate might get traded to another team, depending on who has more pull in that locker room. Just imagine that you fussing. If I'm playing for the Saints, the sad ass Saints, and I get into it with like Chris Olave or somebody because he said he ain't getting the ball enough. I can either have an option of telling him, all right, you right. Next game, be looking for it because you're going to get it. Or I can be like, hey, well, that's part of the game. If you're not getting it, clearly you ain't getting open. If I pick that route, next thing you know, I get into it with the coach. We get into it with the coach. We run it down, whatever happened. And let's just say I'm like a team captain or something like that. And my overall is like 99. I have a higher overall than Chris Olave, and I'm more of a star player than Olave. Next week, Chris Olave might be traded to another team because locker room issues. Or it could come out that Chris Olave has requested a trade because of the interview or the argument that we got into. On the flip side, if I decide to work it out with Olave, I'm already the starting quarterback. I'm already the leader or whatever. And I actually, well, let's say that I agreed to tell Olave, all right, you right. Be looking for the ball next game because you're going to get it. Madden might give me a task to complete saying something like Chris Olave has to have 10 catches or so like 100 plus yards or whatever. And I actually do that. That increases my chemistry with not only Olave, but the team chemistry. Or if I don't do it, then we can say nothing happens or something in between that. But I think that implementing a telltale type of ordeal within sports games that already suck will probably make them a little more fun to play. Just my 2 cents on that. We're gonna move on to the next one. I have, let's see, we almost done. We are making good timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 more to go, and then we're gonna be done. Next one, Nintendo. You back on the forefront, so let's get it. Nintendo, I think that you need to implement some sort of a better source of backwards compatibility. Now, right now, what we have with Switch 2 and Switch is something called Nintendo Online, where we have a certain selection of games that were on previous consoles, going all the way back to the NES, going up to the N64 on the regular Switch, and then it goes up to GameCube on the Switch 2. But the problem with that is, one, it's only a certain amount of games. And for some of these systems, there may be like 10 games available for that, when we all know that there's probably been more than that. Now, I understand this is probably far-fetched and it's probably not possible, but hell, this is my fucking series. This is my goddamn podcast. And a motherfucker could dream, So moving on. I think that having that store, it's not a bad idea per se. I would even say, hell, just use that and build upon it and just add more games to it. Add more games at a more, you know, at a higher rate. It feels like they only add games like once every few months or something. I feel like if you're gonna have that, have each and every game available for that, or just don't have it at all. The Wii had backwards compatibility with the GameCube. The Wii U had backwards compatibility with the Wii, meaning you could play GameCube games on your Wii and Wii games on your Wii U. But Switch does not have that. But I get it. They moved on from CDs, moved over to cartridges. But at the same time, I don't think Nintendo Switch 2 has backwards compatibility with the first Switch. So if that's the case, that's a problem right there because it's the same fucking thing. So why not have it? But I do feel like that needs to be something that's something that really needs to be added, or something that needs to be fixed, I guess you can say. I'm not going to say added because it's already kind of there, but I really feel like there's better ways of doing it. But, we'll see. Next one is, I feel like anime games are carbon copies of Naruto games. Now, when I say anime games, I don't mean all of them, of course. Dragon Ball Z, obviously, that's its own thing. Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously, that's its own thing. Pokemon is obviously its own thing. But when you look at games like Demon Slayer, Bleach, and My Hero Academia, or the My Hero games, it kind of feels the same as Naruto, if we're being honest. I mean, the menu interfaces are the same. The character selections are kind of the same concept. I mean, the designs are damn near exactly the fucking same, especially with Demon Slayer. I've played Demon Slayer myself. I felt like I was playing Naruto. I just felt like I was playing Naruto. The gameplay is the same. The camera angles are the same. Like the fighting mechanics are the same. It's all literal carbon copies of Naruto, of the fucking Storm series. But why though? Like, this is completely different shows, and I get it. I guess because most of it is by Shonen. I guess that's their thing, whatever. But at the same time, game developers, that falls on you too. Because why are you making 3 different games of 3 different TV shows that feel the exact fucking same as Naruto? like I said, DBZ, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, they don't have this issue because they're their own entities. They're their own juggernauts. Hell, even One Piece doesn't feel that way. Well, I don't know. I didn't play the new one yet. The old One Pieces, those are the shit. But the new One Piece, I didn't play that yet. But it wouldn't surprise me if that felt the same too. The UI, like I said, it feels all so similar to Naruto, and it's kind of disappointing if we're being honest, because there's so much potential in all of these games to be so successful, but they fall short of expectations because they take this. Like I said, it's literally rinse and repeat from Naruto games. I don't know. It's unfortunate, but hey, what can you do? Moving on. Let's see. Let's see. I might make this text a little bit bigger. Oh no, this one's kind of a lot, so I'm gonna just keep this one small. Next one is publishers should compensate modders that bring in additional popularity to their video game. Why is it that modders have to do game developers' jobs to make their game better than what we got? I mean, hell, I've seen mods in GTA that turn you into Spider-Man and Goku and a fucking shark. I've seen mods in WWE that involve weapons that aren't even in the game. I've seen mods in WWE that make rushes look 10 times fucking better than what they really look like in the game. I'm talking realistic shit like facial hairs updated. They actually add sweat to the people, like real looking sweat, not this gel shit that this shit looks like now. They have extreme mods for WWE where they add like barbed wire to the ring mat and thumbtacks and things like that. You can stack tables on top of tables. There's no limit to how many tables. Well, no, you know what? I think that one comes with the tables already stacked. But in any case, I feel like game devs are so greedy that it's not going to happen. But it really should, because like I said, why is it, that us as gamers have to do your job to make your game play better, look better, feel better, whatever the case may be. Game devs, y'all need to start compensating these people, because at the end of the day, they're taking games that are dying and reviving them, literally reviving them. Another example, Xenoverse 2. In the original game, if you equip your Saiyan with a Saiyan tail, the shit just is stagnant. It doesn't even move. Like, how can you put a tail on somebody that doesn't move? It's a prop, is what it is. But there's mods for Xenoverse 2 that actually give you a tail that moves along with you. They have mods that add hairstyles to your created character other than the piece of shit hairstyles we got right now. They have mods that change the look of your hairstyle as you transform. And I'm not talking just Super Saiyan 3. Like, they actually have it to where you can literally have Trunks' hair and it'll actually change into a Super Saiyan look. But what's crazy to me is there was a game that came out before Xenoverse that had that. Ultimate Tenkaichi had that. They had it to where if you equip a certain hairstyle, it would change when you transform to Super Saiyan. I personally had Bardock's hair, and that shit, the Goku spikes, and that shit shot straight up when I went Super Saiyan. Why is it that a game that came out so late after Ultimate Tenkaichi, and that also came out between 3 generations of systems, matter of fact, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and now it's on PlayStation 5. 3 generations of gaming systems that game came out on. And you telling me you couldn't fix one minor detail to where the actual hair, you have like interactive hair instead of just something that's stagnant and just sitting there like a fucking statue? I don't know. Moving on, yo. We almost finished. I got 3 more and I got a banger at the end, so stay tuned for that one. My next one is PS5 trigger resistance was a bad idea, in my opinion. This one kind of goes without saying, but I feel like everybody that has a PS5, had they not known about the trigger resistance before that, they probably thought that their RT button was fucked up or their LT button was fucked up. Or they were like, what the hell? What's going on? Like, they were confused. And I feel like trigger resistance, like, what does it add? It doesn't really add that much immersion to the damn thing. If anything, I feel like it's a hindrance to me, because if I'm playing 2K, I want to sprint. I don't want to be held back. And then I got to press down my R2 button even harder now. Like, no, that you can have trigger resistance, but you should only have it for certain games. I feel like it should have been off by default. and I feel like it should only be really, really for certain games. Like I could see it being for Astro Boy and the Astrobot because that's like that the Astro World game that introduced the PlayStation 5. So I can see it being in that game. But like for any AAA games or anything not related or any games that are on multiple systems, I really don't feel like Trigger Resistance works for that. I really don't. I didn't care for it. I have it off I mean, I've turned all of them off on all my controllers. I have it turned off because I don't like it. Moving on. Uh, this next one kind of hurts my heart because I love the game. I don't love the franchise, but I like the franchise. But I don't know what's been their deal lately. I really don't. Call of Duty has just been really hard to get back into. Damn near impossible for me. I've tried it. I recently tried it. I tried to get on the other night, and for some reason, I just couldn't. Like, I just didn't. I wasn't fucking with it. I don't know. Black Ops 6 has lost so much of its aura since it came out. Like, it's been so cartoonified to where it's just I can't fuck with it. I just can't. Like, and then when I went on it, that was already an issue for me. In my last game in Hot Takes, I did mention that Call of Duty has become a glorified Fortnite with just different skins. And I still kind of feel that way. I mean, ever since Black Ops 7 dropped their announcement that nothing's gonna carry over from BO6, I was like, okay, now they're going in the right direction again. Then the demo drop for BO6 or the beta drop for BO6, it kind of feels the same to me. If I'm being honest, it really does feel the same as like BO6 to me. I'm gonna get it. Obviously, I'm gonna get it, but I hope that it doesn't fall down the same rabbit hole as Black Ops 6 did. And right now, Black Ops 6, when I mentioned about the skins, now they have Chucky and Tiffany, I guess for Halloween or whatever, but still, they just bringing in all these third party, what you call them, to get skins off of and to make money off of, if I'm being honest. Uh, all right. I got one more, and then I'm gonna go to my. Even with the beta for BO7, it was giving a better vibe. Well, that's good. I hope so. I'm gonna give it a shot again. I really am, because I mean, like I said, I'm gonna get the game regardless, because I like Call of Duty, but I just hope BO6 is. I hope they have a complete overhaul from BO7. Not, I'm sorry. I hope BO7 has a complete overhaul from BO6. They are bringing back David Mason finally, after 5 goddamn Call of Duties later. So we'll see. If BO7 is trash, how's it go to Battlefield? I haven't gotten Battlefield yet. I am gonna get it. Everybody's saying that the shit is better than Call of Duty, so we'll see. I'm gonna buy it too. I'm trying to get it either this week or next week, but we'll see. Moving on to my next, I feel like subscription-based services should revert back to one general tier. Now, I'm gonna explain this a little bit more. This one might come off as a little confusing. When online gaming was first introduced, we basically had, like for PlayStation 3, it wasn't required to have PlayStation Plus to play online. For Xbox, we had Xbox Live, we had Silver, and we had Gold. Now, Silver will allow us to connect to the internet and use our apps, basically, which I think at the time they didn't really have that many. But then we had Gold that allowed us to actually play online, like play video games online. That wasn't a bad idea. I don't think that was that bad of an idea. I think that it should revert back to that. I think that having 3 different tiers seems kind of unnecessary because it's like, what's the middle ground? I mean, just have 1 tier, 1 or 2 tiers, and that's it. That's really all you need. Or just have 1 tier that allows you to play online and gives you access to whatever gaming libraries that they have, and then maybe pay for an add-on. Or if you want to consider that a different tier, whatever, then you start getting into your classic games and your retro and your backwards compatible games. I think that having 3 different tiers is kind of unnecessary. 1 with an add-on, or 2. Like I said, have your basic tier allows you to connect online, play your games online, or you can even have it something like this. You have your regular tier that allows you to go online and play your games online, or you can upgrade to your premium tier that gives you everything in your basic as well as the game library, including all of the classics, not just certain ones. PlayStation has this bad too. Only certain classical games are available to buy, and not all of them are available to buy. Some of them are only available just to stream. I feel like if you're gonna have that, and that kind of goes back to my earlier point on the backwards compatible thing. I feel like if they do that, if you have your basic tier that allows you to go online, play your games, then you have your premium tier that allows you to go online, play your games like basic, but also gives you access to your library that they have now. But specifically the PlayStation, those PS3 games that I mentioned earlier that you can't buy, you should have that available to buy. There's no reason why you can stream these games on PlayStation, but you can't buy them. That kind of makes no sense to me. But I also get it because it would kind of be more expensive, but it would also allow for offline gaming. Not everybody likes to game online. Not everybody has the capacity to have a constant internet connection. Our internet goes out sometimes. Cox is not the best, and AT&T is even worse. Have that option for us to play these games offline. That way we don't get interrupted. It's too simple. Like I don't. It's money. It's all about the dollar bill, y'all. Y'all know what's up. All right. We are at the final hot take of this video. We are at 39 minutes. Let's check my checks. All right, Battlefield 2042. I heard Battlefield 2042 was very buggy. I played it, I liked it, but I heard it was very, very buggy. And that game takes up way too much fucking space too. There's no way that I think that game takes up almost 200 gigabytes of space. I don't have the capacity for that. You talking about having to delete so much shit just to play that game? But I do have it on my Xbox though. So that's probably I'm gonna give it a chance again. Like I said, I heard it was kinda buggy, but you know, I think every game has bugs. All right, y'all. Without further ado, my last hot take, and in my opinion, the hottest of hot takes. I'm gonna show this in large text actually. Y'all ain't ready for this one. My last hot take is I think it's coming. I think Sony's days are numbered. I really do. I think Microsoft gonna fuck around and buy them. I really think Microsoft is gonna end up buying Sony. Cause if you think about it, Microsoft already blows them out the water with network. I mean, Microsoft is almost at 4 billion, while Sony is only at 177 billion. That's just estimated. Of course, that ain't exact. But according to my research, I mean, like I said, when I researched the network, Microsoft blows them out the water. They have the capacity to do so. I think they have the financial stability to do so as well. When you look at it, even though Microsoft hasn't been around nowhere near as long as Sony has, I don't know. Is it hard to think that Microsoft could buy them out? We already got games that were Xbox exclusives on the PlayStation Store, and vice versa. I mean, Forza's already on there. Gears of War is already on PlayStation. Halo is on the way, if I'm not mistaken. Microsoft already has PCs, and Nintendo, they gonna be their own fucking downfall with the greed they are. I mean, I know Nintendo been around longer than all of them, but like I said in my last one, Nintendo's gonna be their own downfall with their greed and not really being supportive of, modders and things like that. It's like they want everything to go through them. So I really think that Nintendo's gonna be its own downfall, and Microsoft is gonna come up and scoop up Sony. Now, whether it be a partnership to where Sony still has its own, well, to where Sony is still kind of its own entity under the umbrella of Microsoft, or they can say, fuck it, we got the money, close your shit down. Everything goes through Microsoft now. Now, will the owners go through that? Will they go for that though? Because y'all know Sony was originally founded in Tokyo and brought over to the US in I think 1960. Yeah, it was founded in Tokyo in I want to say 1948, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check my because I did 1946. Sony was founded in 1946 and brought to the US in 1960, whereas Microsoft didn't come around till 15 years later in 1975. I don't know, y'all. Cash rules everything around them. Cream get the money, dollar bill, y'all. That's all it's about. It's all about the money. And Microsoft got the money now. They got the money. They got. Let's just go through this right quick. They already have Windows. They own Windows. They done took over Microsoft Word, and now they making people pay for that. They have TVs, they have the Xbox gaming systems. They got everything under the sun, if we being honest. Sony has their own shit too. But when it comes to the demand for Microsoft, man, I don't know. Just imagine the gaming industry with no Sony, no console wars. Everything owned by Microsoft. Well, other than Nintendo, but that's its own thing. That would completely kill the gaming console wars between Xbox and PlayStation because everything is basically released under the same umbrella. Therefore, everything is gonna probably be the same schematics. Oh man, I don't know. The world would be so different if motherfuckers didn't complain over Microsoft versus Sony or Xbox versus PlayStation. Even though both of them got their pros and cons, neither one of them are the perfect system. But yeah, I really think Microsoft is gonna buy Sony a lot sooner than we realize. Sony's already kind of falling off, if we're being honest. I mean, I think Sony is kind of falling off, and I really think it started with the PlayStation 5, how they fumbled that whole thing. Yeah. So we got a world that we live in where everything goes through Microsoft. The schematics will probably be better. The system hard drives will probably be better because Microsoft is definitely more reliable than Sony. Not saying Sony's not reliable, but Microsoft kind of blows them out the water with that. You already have all these different entities that fall under Microsoft, like Xbox, Windows, Office. So you have the capacity to take over Sony. You have the brain power to do it. You have the financial stability to do it. Hell, you can take their system and just redo the whole thing. Now, please don't do that. Do not do that because I like my PlayStation systems. But just hypothetically speaking, just in a world that is dominated by Microsoft, what's the word I'm looking for? Who would compete against them? If you have the only thing competing with Microsoft right now is Sony, and Sony is not doing good against Microsoft. As far as gaming is concerned, though, I mean, clearly people prefer PlayStation over Xbox, but when we talk about as a whole, Microsoft is blowing Sony out the water. But are they going to give Sony an offer they can't refuse? Now that's the question though. Are they going to give Sony an offer they can't refuse? I don't know. That's why I feel like they can, but will they do it is the question. And if they do it, will these Japanese owners go for that shit? Because we all know people out there, Japan, Asia. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think they're pretty good with businesses. They're good with their money. They don't just give up shit willy nilly. So I don't know. And to have a company that you've had for so long, that you founded so long ago, almost 80 years ago, just be bought up by somebody that only been around for a fraction of the time, only since 1975. That's not that old. Like that's not that long ago if you think about it. Hell, both of my parents were already born by then. I mean, I wasn't born yet, but 1975 is not that long ago if we think about it. So, with all that being said, y'all, that's my gaming hot takes part 2. Maybe part 3 coming. Yeah, it probably will. But in any case, let's get back to reality, and I will catch y'all next